Hey everyone, my name is Sharif Ayesh. I am currently taking Capstone 499 uh, in my final term for my bachelor's degree in computer science. Um, for this project, I will be doing my code review and I will walk through three projects and talk about what the code does and what I found using the CS-499 checklist and what I will improve for the capstone. I will start with my Android app from CS360 for software engineering and design. Then my OpenGL scene from CS330, algorithms and data structures. Then my MongoDB project from CS340, databases. I will try to keep it quick and simple and try not to talk too much. So definitely going to start out with my Android app. This was basically an app that allows the user to log in, manage items. The list uses recycler view. Data is saved locally with preferences. Most logic sits inside the activities and helpers. It works and is very simple to follow. This is my code for the inventory activity. Um, the very first thing I notice when I'm looking at this code is, now that I've had a chance to kind of move on from the course and get a little bit more experience, I definitely need more detail as far as my comments. Some of the code has comments, some of the code doesn't have comments. So when I'm going back and looking and trying to find something, it's not the easiest to understand or to find what you're looking for. But for the inventory activity, it's just pretty simple. It's setting up the app for you to be able to add your inventory. And then I also have login activity over here. And this basically gives a user the opportunity to create a username and password or log in. And then we have the SMS activity, which is definitely something I need to improve on with this app, because the way I set it up is it's supposed to send an SMS alert when inventory is low or inventory is close to running out. And I've got it set up to where you enter in your phone number, but you never actually receive a message. So that is definitely going to be an area of improvement that I will be enhancing for this app. But just to show how it works, I've already created a username and password. Okay, maybe not. Well, we'll just create a new one. Username already exists. We'll just do that. All right. And now we're in. And basically, I've just added some miscellaneous items in here just to kind of see how things work. You could delete the items. You can add more items. I've structured it to where all you got to do is just type the name of the item, add the quantity, and then it adds it in for you. Now, this is the area of improvement that I will definitely be working on, which is the SMS notifications. So when I hit send, obviously it says sent, but you never really receive a message. So that is definitely going to be an area of improvement for that. And then over here, we have the layout designs. This is how I was able to design the layout for the entire app. We've got the activity login, all the buttons, and then as well as for the SMS. So yeah, this was a really fun project to work on, and I'm actually really excited to address it and come back and improve it and make it a lot better than what it is right now. So we will be moving on to our second project, Our second project was also a really, really fun project. This is my 3D scene that I did for CS-330. And let's just go ahead and build it real quick. All right, we got it all. We can go ahead and get it started. So this scene renders a kitchen countertop with objects. The program loads vertices, creates buffers, applies model view, projection, and draws every frame. And it's a very clear example of a basic render loop. So I could zoom out and zoom in with my keyboard. I've got the capability to change the angle with my mouse. So this is supposed to be a bowl, a spoon, a mug, and a plate. So right off the top, I think the first thing that we could improve is our drawing capabilities because, yeah, this was not the greatest, but this was also my first time really experimenting with 3D rendering. So I was really proud that I was even able to get this image up and loaded. But there's definitely a lot of room to improve on the drawing. So one of the main improvements that I would like to do is with my mouse. So my mouse is only working on the 3D image. It does not let me move it outside the box. So currently the only way that I can close this window is by hitting escape, which is not that big of a deal, but I would love to incorporate a way where I could still use my mouse and still be able to use it in the image or on the render loop and still be able to use it for the computer as well. But let's go in and look at the main code, and then we'll look at the screen manager or the scene manager and the view manager. So the main code pretty much, I spent a lot of time on it, and I've really, really emphasized all the tools that were given to me. One thing I'm really proud of is my comments. My comments are really spot on. I was really able to help myself out with these comments. Now, as far as the code itself, there were some things that definitely could be improved. I have some math that repeats itself inside the draw loop. My transformations really need to be improved. My transformations were, as you saw earlier in the image, they were not the greatest. So that's definitely something that I would really, really love to just like sit and practice and try to get better shapes with the colors, that match with them. One thing I did really enjoy was figuring out how the shader material worked. That was also really fun. But the prepare scene is where all of the calculations go in for drawing the objects. We got the floor plan. We got the bowl setup. I really struggled with the bowl. I had I had 4 different objects for the bowl. And I think this is where I could dramatically improve the scene by getting the correct calculations. Here's the mug. The spoon, I had a scoop separately from the handle. We have a mug handle. We have the apple. I had a stem and the plate. And then I added some lights to the scene as well. So I think overall it was a really, really good project. It was really fun to work on. It was definitely slightly challenging with all of the trying to calculate all the shapes and to get them all working properly. But yeah, I mean that. A few other improvements that I would do was maybe add a mesh class that owns VBO and IBO and can be shared across objects. Maybe draw by material to reduce state changes, and maybe add an FPS counter on the scene to see what kind of frames I'm getting. I think that would be definitely a good enhancement as well. But yeah, that was this project. Moving on, we will go and take a look at the final project, which was the MongoDB Crude Notebook. This was a very, very challenging project, just because this probably was my first time using Jupyter. So it was kind of two projects in one. It was, the first project was we were creating a Python script, which was named Animal Shelter, and we were incorporating it into this notebook to where it could pick up and read data off of it. Basically, the Animal Shelter class connected to a MongoDB and exposes create, read, update, and delete. The notebook demonstrates filters and shows results. So originally when I did this, I was using Aborto, or Oporto, if I'm saying it correctly. But for some reason, since I finished the course, I no longer have access to it. So luckily, when I did it, I was able to get screenshots of it. And this is the end result after the notebook ran all the cells and the commands. So we'll go through it here and just kind of take a look step by step. So basic checklist findings that I noticed from doing this project was the credentials appear in the code. They should come from an environment variables. So I think that's first and foremost that needs to be addressed. No schema validation for inserts and updates. Reads, returns full documents, no projection. Limited try and accept around database cells. No indexes for frequent queries. So I think my planned improvements for this need to be load credentials from an environment and include a simple env file. Add a collection level JSON schema validator. Create indexes that match frequent filters. Maybe implement some projections. Add a retriable connection helper if it times out. Add unit tests with MongoMonk and Tiny Speed Set. But overall, this is only because I can't read it from the Aporto, so I'm getting an error. But the way it was set up was when you would run all the cells, we had it to where it was a separate link to where you would click on the link and then it would show you all of the pictures that I just, for some reason, deleted. Let me go back into them. Take a look over here. And you could pinpoint and do searches by vicinity. You could specify the search that you wanted. You could search the breed of the animal, and it would show you the geological location on the map. So yeah, this was my CS-340 project. It was really fun and challenging. So this is the review and enhancement plan for the 3 projects. I use the checklist to look for structure, clarity, security, efficiency, and documentation. Next, I will implement these upgrades, write a short README for each file, and just document the improvements that I want to do moving forward. And I appreciate your time, and thank you so much.